Write it down so clearly a 12-year-old could understand it. Hey guys, it's Dan Greer with Forge coming at you today, reading straight out of the book, Grit, Grease, and Grace, Leadership Forged in the Trenches. It's my book. I wrote this bad boy, and I thought I'd come to you guys and share you a little bit about this. So this is page 169. Again, we're on chapter 8, Creating and Owning the Vision. And the section I'm going to read you is write it down so clearly a 12-year-old could understand it. If you can't explain your vision without corporate buzzwords, you don't own it yet. Visions aren't supposed to be complicated. They're supposed to be clear enough that a 12-year-old eating a peanut butter sandwich at the kitchen table could nod and say, "Got it." If you can't get it out on the back of a napkin, you're not ready to build it yet. When we built the vision for Eclipse DOT, it boiled down to one sentence. We make companies' lives easier by handling their DOT paperwork so they can focus on building their business. That was it. No smoke, mirrors, or 5-syllable business words. If you can't say it simply, you can't live it strongly. I think that's true in every aspect of life. A lot of times we really try to overcomplicate things. Like I had an email come into my inbox yesterday from one of my people, and they were like trying to talk to this customer, and they used all these giant words and stuff like this, and they over-explained stuff, and they're like, well, because you don't have this, you don't need this, and you don't need this, and you don't need this, and you don't need this. And I was like, pause. Let's tell them what they do need. And let's tell them how we can serve them. We don't need to inundate them with information. A lot of times what happens is we try to sound too smart. We think that using big words or talking a lot makes us sound smarter. But the truth is, it doesn't. The truth is when we use big words, when we use 5-syllable words, when we use $5 words, when we use these giant conglomerations, when we write it down on pages and pages and pages for one idea, we get lost. And we lose the people we're trying to lead. So as a leader, we need to simplify. We need to simplify our vision for what we're after. This is what I want from you. This is the way we communicate, right? So what I did is I took that email and I rewrote it before they sent it to the customer, and I coached them through it, and I said, hey, this is a delicate situation. Why don't you say, this is what we're going to do for you. This is what we're helping solve. This is why it's important. This is why you should care. I took our vision of simplifying DOT and taking it off their plate, and I didn't give them all the extra context. I didn't say, well, you've got to have these 20 things and you don't need these 6 things. I said, this is what we're going to do. And this is why we're going to do it. And this is why it matters to you. Because here's what happens. When we're talking about our vision, when we're explaining our vision, we're explaining things to people, we think about us. We think about me. Oh, I would like this. Oh, I would need this. Oh, this and this and this and I and I and I and me and me and me. We never say, how does this affect you? What do you care about this? We say, what do I care about this? This is what I know. I'm so smart. Even though we're not actually doing that, that's what we're trying to sound smart with some of these big contextual like emails, these big visions, right? If I was to tell you my personal vision right now, my personal vision is to have an ownership stake, a majority ownership stake in over 500 companies, to be so busy I have to own a private jet and a pilot to be able to cover all the ground I have to cover, and also to be so inspirational that people look to me for years after I'm gone, like Dale Carnegie or Napoleon Hill. And there's some other stuff in there in my inspiration and my goals. Like I want a big, beautiful house on a massive amount of acreage. Right? I want to be able to travel and live in different places. My wife and I were talking about this the other day. One of our visions together is to be able to go live somewhere for a month. And I built a life where I can do that. Go live somewhere for a month. If I want to go live in New York City, Manhattan, I'm going to go rent a place for a month. I don't have to buy a house there, but I can go experience New York City for a month. And if I love it, I'll do it again. I can go to Montana and live on a beautiful ranch in the middle of nowhere for a month. I could go to the Philippines and live for a month. I could go to Belize. I could go to South America. I could go to Texas. Hell, I could come home, right? Like that's one of our visions. Do you see how easy that vision is for me to give you? How easy it is to understand? I didn't make it complicated. I didn't get into the details of it. And as a leader, when you're explaining your vision, you need to keep it simple. So simple a 12-year-old can understand it. Hey guys, that's your 5 minutes. Grab a copy of my book, Grit, Grease, and Grace, Leadership Forged in the Trenches. You can get it from gritgreasegrace.com. We'll see you guys later.